I woke up in the middle of the night with the worst migraine that I had ever experienced. I decided to go to the hospital because I knew something had to be wrong. When the doctor walked in and said, "We have some news to tell you," I wasn't prepared for it. They said, "You have a brain tumor." I am Tamara and this is my mom, Princess Horse Durant. So I've always struggled with migraines, but this particular time was different. This migraine lasted at that point for 5 days.
Tamara is usually very active and vivacious, but she was totally laid out for the whole time. So yes, it was a difficult time.
On the 5th day, I couldn't take it anymore. I decided to go to the hospital. And that's when they did all of the tests. They did the CAT scan, they did the MRI. They actually also did a spinal tap, make sure I didn't have meningitis. They said, "You have a brain tumor, and we need neurosurgery to come in and speak to you." I didn't expect to hear this news. And so obviously at that moment, it felt like time stopped. I proceeded to do things as I normally would. I danced with my daughter. We've been doing that for years. I was in her recitals, and that was our time to connect. That's when I discovered some problems started happening. I always felt like I was going to fall when I did turns. I always felt very dizzy, and I thought I had vertigo. So naturally, I went to my neurologist.
We knew that that decision would always come. We just didn't know when. We were hoping it would be many years in the future, but it was a decision that we had to make.
I'm a pharmaceutical rep, and I began mentioning it to what I was going through to some of my doctors. And one doctor in particular said, "You may want to get 3 opinions, Tamara." When I sat in that seat and I spoke to Dr. John Lee, I knew I had a connection with him right away. So I knew where I was going to have the surgery. And I set up everything with Penn.
Tamara had a tumor that was growing in her head, and this tumor was exerting pressure on her brain. It was starting to cause headaches, it was starting to cause her to be off balance, and it was affecting her ability to kind of coordinate her movements, and this is affecting her life, her livelihood, her being a mother.
It was difficult because it was brain surgery, and that was my daughter. The only one I had.
I approached her about getting involved in a study, and this really was a study because she was the first patient we tried it on.
He told me, "We have a procedure that will light up your tumor and make it glow. This research will allow us to be able to hopefully measure and get more accurate readings on the tumor."
If we can make tumors glow, then we can find lymph nodes. And if we can find lymph nodes, we don't need pathology. If we don't need pathology, our accuracy is going to get better. Maybe there's going to be a day where it doesn't matter whether you're stage 1 or stage 4 lung cancer or any cancer, we can take you to the operating room and maybe cure you.
When she said that they were going to put her in a clinical trial, she was confident in it. She was confident in him. She had a positive attitude, and that's all I needed to know.
I just wanted to be able to help and be of help to anyone in the future that may have been going through what I was. So I said, if this will help with research, absolutely.
It really was remarkable. As a surgeon, I see a lot of amazing things, and this was like a light bulb. The tumor was as bright as a light bulb.
The surgery was a success. He said, "Tamara, I don't have to see you back for another 2 years. Everything looks great." And that was the best news at that point.
Based on her MRI and based on my impression, this would be considered a gross total resection. Everything's out. She's better, and her balance is better, her headaches are gone, she's gonna live a more normal life.
It's taken some time for everything to come back, but from where I was last year to this year, I've seen tremendous improvement. And Dr. Lee, I always tell him, tell him he saved my life.